The Chicago Sky lose a close one to the Minnesota Lynx, but despite that, it actually wasn't that bad. It was inspirational to see, and I'll get to that in a few. For the pregame, no Chennedy Carter out because of health protocols, which was disappointing, but it wasn't a shock to see. In my previous video, I already went on a rant about how this is a problem and not having her out there is bad for the team and building chemistry, so I'm not going to rehash the same stuff here. I just hope that she gets better and hopefully she can play down the stretch. With an Atlanta Dream win today, they have tied the Chicago Sky's record, and the only thing keeping the Sky ahead of them is the fact that they currently lead the head-to-head matchup against them. It's getting really close, and if the Sky want to make the playoffs, they're gonna need Chennedy. But the Sky weren't the only ones dealing with injuries in this game. No Elena Smith for the Lynx, which is unfortunate for them, but it evened out the playing field some and made the game more winnable. Getting into the game, in the first quarter, it was clear that Teaspoon told everyone to feed Kamilla because that's exactly what happened. She scored 12 points on 4 field goal attempts and 6 free throw attempts. Good things happened when she got the ball. There were a lot of turnovers that came with trying to get the ball to Kamilla, which was a big catalyst in this game, but at least everyone was looking to get her the ball. Where things took a turn was when Diamond and Dana came in for Rachel and Michaela. Diamond tried one pass to Kamilla, rolling to the rim, but when that failed, she just decided that she wasn't going to pass to the bigs. Her main target was Dana, and if she couldn't get it to her, then it was Lindsay, which was detrimental to the team and what they had going on with Kamilla having the hot hand in this quarter. After the failed pass, here's what it looked like for Diamond and Dana. Next possession, Diamond picked up an offensive foul on a wild shot attempt that had a low chance of going in. Next possession, Diamond got a turnover trying to pass to Dana cross court when Angel was right next to her. On the next possession, I'll give Dana credit. She gave the ball to Kamilla in a good spot. Kamilla just passed out of it. On the next possession, there was a full 24-second possession where the ball didn't touch Angel or Kamilla because it was just Diamond, Lindsay, and Dana playing hot potato and Lindsay having to shoot a 3 with like 3 seconds left. On the next possession, Angel beat Napheesa down the court and sealed her. She got into a solid position to score, but Dana didn't pass it to Angel. Lindsay Allen got a mid-range bucket on that possession, but that doesn't erase what just happened. Then, on the final possession, Angel got Kamilla the ball, which led to a foul. The guards did nothing. Dana and Diamond just can't be on the court together. The game that they're trying to play just isn't working. Despite Kamilla having 12 points on 90% true shooting in this quarter, they just don't believe in the bigs, even when it was working. So Dana and Diamond didn't help, but really the main reason why the Sky got into that 25-19 deficit is because the Lynx were just making everything. Like the Sky weren't even playing bad defense. The Lynx were just unconscious, really good shot making. In the second quarter, right when Angel was going to get a breather, Kamilla picked up her second foul, so she had to sub back in the game. Angel only got 2 minutes of rest in this entire game. There's no depth on this team, especially with no Elizabeth Williams, and I'm getting concerned about Angel's minutes because she's playing a lot over these past few games, which is good for her ability to gather stats, but in the long run, I don't like it. They're relying on her way too much. Moving over to the guard play again, it was bad. It was the same Dana and Diamond shenanigans. The worst play was when Mariah Jefferson tried to get the ball from Dana. Dana isn't a natural point guard, and after having a terrible stretch, she should just let someone else get a turn. But she opted not to give the ball to Mariah and took a contested layup without passing the ball or even looking to set anyone up. She had her mind made up from the beginning that she was going to get a shot up on that possession. She admitted that she requested a trade from the Sky and she's going to be a restricted free agent this offseason. At this point, she's just playing for a new contract. It's hard to win games when everyone isn't on the same page and isn't playing for the best interest of the team. When Dana got subbed out and Kamilla got back in, I love that the Sky went back to what was working, feeding Kamilla. It wasn't as effective in this quarter because she didn't shoot well and there were some turnovers to go along with it, but I'll take it. A Kamilla post-up is the best play for the Sky. Also, the reason why this didn't really matter a ton was because whenever those plays for Kamilla got blown up, McKayla was a nice cleanup or second option that really kept the Sky in it. The Sky were gaining momentum on the Lynx and they were only down 3 until Kamilla picked up her third foul on Napheesa, which was just a really late whistle and frustrating to see because there's been a lot of times in this second half of the season where Kamilla has been called for those landing space type of fouls. She gave Napheesa space to land, but she touched her hand, which on the replay I didn't really see it, but that was enough to get her to the free throw line. Kamilla stayed in, but that ruined their momentum. The Lynx closed the quarter 6-2 over the 3 or so minutes after that foul was called. Technically, the Sky ending this quarter down 39-32 is worse than the first quarter, but I found it to be a miracle that they managed to have a similar deficit and somewhat survived the Dana and Diamond minutes. In the third quarter, after missing some easy shots and after trying to give Kamilla the ball for most of the game, Angel still tried to give Kamilla touches, but Angel looked to be more aggressive in this quarter, and while she didn't shoot 50% from the field, she was able to score 9 points on 54% true shooting, which factors in free throws, and for the WNBA, 54% true shooting is around league average. She had a solid scoring performance in the third quarter and was a force on the offensive boards. She wasn't a problem. There were 2 other things that I want to point out. Rachel Banham got injured and wouldn't return to the game, which just shrunk the roster so much. Also, after the first few minutes, they went away from Kamilla in favor of Diamond and Dana basketball, to which they were a little bit better than they were in the first stretch, but it's just not cutting it. The Sky ended this quarter down 60-51, meaning that they're down even more than they were to start the quarter, but I love that they were just hanging around, especially with the bad guard play and how well the Lynx were shooting. In the fourth quarter, I've talked about Diamond and Dana's bad play a lot in this video, but I have to admit, they were big in the 11-2 run that Chicago went on to get right back in this game and tie it up. But unfortunately for them, it was Courtney Williams' time, just hitting these clutch and insane long 2-point shots, which nowadays those are taught to be the worst shot in basketball. But when the Sky can't score threes, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, there's no punishment for missing one of those. So while Courtney Williams put on a show, Kamilla, while having decent box score stats for this quarter, was used sparingly. While the Lynx were able to go on a run and build up the lead, Kamilla didn't really see the ball until halfway through the quarter, which to me, that lost the game. When she got the ball, she was very effective. The Sky were able to cut it to within 3 with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left, but with no 3-point shooting and facing a Lynx team that had all of the momentum and they just weren't missing, the Sky would have to get lucky to win this one. Without the late game shenanigans that I'm going to talk about, the Sky still probably would have lost, but I'm still going to complain some. At that 1 minute and 13 second mark, Napheesa dribbled the ball off herself, but the refs gave it to the Lynx and Teaspoon didn't challenge it. Like I said, I don't believe that's the reason why this game was lost, but that was definitely a missed opportunity to get the ball back down 3. Then on the Sky's final possession, down 5 with 16 seconds left, instead of working for a quick shot, Lindsay and Dana dribbled 8 seconds off the clock and Dana threw the ball away. Coaching comes into question, but at some point you just have to have the IQ to know that you're working against the clock and you need to get up a fast shot. Also, Kamilla was going off in the last 2 or so minutes, 4 points and an assist to Lindsay, and for the whole game, she was good, so she just needed to see the ball there. She doesn't shoot threes, but she can draw doubles, and even if the Lynx were to just give up a 2 because it doesn't hurt them down 5, I still wanted to actually see that happen. The game was already lost, but that's just something extra to think about. Now it's time for player performance grades. Teaspoon is going to get an A-. She was fine in this game, despite not calling that challenge and still seeming to not have a playbook for scoring in the clutch against the clock. Despite that stuff, I like how she got mostly everyone to feed Kamilla the ball except for Dana and Diamond. The only thing that I would have liked to see is even more focus on that, because although she made an impact in most quarters and got a decent amount of shots, it seemed like in every quarter there was like a 7 or 8 possession dry spell where Kamilla didn't get the ball. She can't take every shot, but the game started to unravel when anyone not named Kamilla, Kayla, and Angel started to hoist up shots and play their own brand of basketball. But that's it. Teaspoon wasn't this mastermind coach, and she didn't go above and beyond, but she didn't lose them this game, so she's going to get an A-. Kamilla Cardoso is going to get an A+. She got more touches than usual in this game, and she was dominant. There's not much more to say. She's definitely not the reason why the Sky lost this game. Angel Reese is going to get an A. Too many missed layups to get an A+, but everything else was good. The assist to turnover ratio, won't say this, but she had a good floor general, point forward type of game. It was always her first priority to make sure Kamilla got the ball until the fourth quarter, and even in the fourth quarter when she couldn't hit shots anymore, she adjusted and kept on going to Kamilla. Also, the defense is always there. She held an MVP candidate Napheesa Collier to 15 points on 36% true shooting as the main defender. The best competition in the W is at the big, and Angel's been holding her own defensively. She should be in contention for a spot on an all-defensive team, probably the second team. The rebounding alone should be enough to make it. Kayla is going to get an A. The defense wasn't as big of an issue as it was in the previous game, and she brought some much needed scoring to the table, and I hope that this run that she's on continues. Dana Evans is going to get a D. She hit some shots tonight, which was nice, but they're not all coming within the flow of the offense. After the whole Mariah thing where she didn't give her the ball, that's just going to bump her grade down so much. The stats look fine on paper, but that was just such a bad moment, and she made it clear that she's playing for herself tonight. Diamond DeShields is going to get an F. She played for herself tonight, and she just wasn't trying to pass to the bigs. Although Angel had 6 turnovers, I'll take those 6 turnovers over Diamond's 5 turnovers because Angel was trying to get it to the hot hand for most of the night, while Diamond only passed to Dana and turned it over while trying to get it to her when it would have been easier to pass to the bigs or anyone else. They only pass to each other, so there's just a limit on how good this team can be with them still on the roster. Lindsay Allen is going to get a C. It would have been nice to see a good scoring performance out of her, but that was not the case. Also, same as always, she took too long to set up some plays, which is why she can't get a higher grade. But at least she gave the ball to Kamilla and made an attempt at playing team basketball today. Isabel Harrison is going to get a C. I didn't think that she was terrible out there, but with Angel and Kamilla playing so well and holding the team together, there was no real playing time for her. Rachel Banham is going to get an F. She provided no scoring. Lastly, Mariah Jefferson is going to get an F. I sided with her in the Dana situation, but she's still going to get an F. She didn't impact the game. The Chicago Sky played the Las Vegas Aces on Tuesday. No update on if Kennedy Carter is going to be available to play as of now. Interested to see what happens, but yeah, that is all for now.